All week, Democrats, they've been condemning Cornel West as a Putin lover. Yeah, they say he's a Putin lover just because he points out things that America's done, like, I don't know, try to expand NATO. He says over and over, hey, Putin should not have invaded Ukraine. It was illegal invasion. It was an illegal invasion. It was an illegal invasion. It was an illegal invasion. My brothers and sisters, the poor brothers and sisters, the suffering people of the Ukraine who are dealing with an illegal invasion over and over and over and over. And still, some asshole will write. Dr. Cornel West is a Putin lover and a Putin apologist. Someone who does something illegal is what? What's a person who does something illegal? That's called a criminal. He just called him a criminal and a crook. But that means he's a pusher of Putin. The Democrats avoid dealing with issues concerning poor and working class Americans, particularly black Americans. The Democratic Party is most concerned with Dr. West's appeal to black American men and young people. If you remember how Bernie Sanders has such a following amongst the youth, well, Dr. West is Bernie Sanders with the same type of affection or connection to young people who are particularly more progressive. And add in black men. Because, man, me trying to talk to black men back in 2015, 2016, to Bernie, they was like, man, what am I doing talking about this old Jewish dude? What do you know about it? I got to convince you, first of all, that age ain't number the number, and I got to convince you that he's down and but you don't have those hurdles with Dr. West. He's got a track record of 40 years, 30, in the black community talking about black issues and saying it with his chest on the biggest stages and against the biggest, most powerful people in the world. So yes, Dr. West appears to the same demographics as Bernie Sanders, including black men. So yes, the Democratic Party should be very concerned. Not only that, but some black men recall Biden having no problem saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, guess what, Joe Biden? Dr. Cornel West is black, and we ain't voting for you. We gonna vote for him. And I'm not over this whole idea that Joe Biden likes lying on the stump, saying what he's going to stand up for it, then he doesn't stand up for it. Like he said he was going to wipe out HBCU student debt for anybody making less than $125,000 a year. Now, we know that got struck down in the courts later, but he stopped talking about that shit once he got elected. Like, once he got elected, he stopped talking about what he said he was going to do that got him elected. So we got Dr. Cornel West, who's not shy. He will say what's on his mind. And he's saying these things in these interviews across the country. He's been making the political rounds, the media rounds, and he's been saying those things on these platforms. And that has now got the Democratic Party very concerned. As they should be. They should be concerned. Joe Biden has spent 3 or 4 years not delivering on the issues he supported and wanted him to take on, that he's supposed to take on head first, but he wouldn't even back into him. Now, many naysayers are afraid Dr. West will drain Biden of black votes. Unlike the critics of West, I do not believe the Democrats have earned any black votes. If anything, they've given some away on purpose. They've repelled black votes. How can you say that you have, if white folks owned only 2% of the wealth in America, this whole place would be over. I said if white men, gosh, I couldn't even say it. If white men owned only 2% of the wealth in America, if white men only made up 2% of the engineers, or 2% of the male lawyers, or the 2% of the male doctors, only got 1.4% or whatever of venture capital investment from venture capitalists, no matter how great the ideas were, this place be over. Wouldn't be no America. But that could happen to black Americans, and we could have a party that says they fight for us, and y'all can still say we owe them votes. How the hell can you owe somebody votes when you're doing that badly? How the hell can you say that they're on my side when they're doing that badly? How the hell can you form your mouth to say what I need to do or not do in order to support those people that you say have had my back during this situation? I mean, if you're in a relationship with somebody and instead of taking you out for dinner, they kick you in the stomach. If you're in a relationship with somebody and instead of telling you they love you, they tell you they hate you. If you're in a relationship with somebody and someone break in your house and they jump out the window and they go to the movies, while those intruders are having their way with you, I don't think you're in a relationship. I think you're in a relationship with your damn self, a figment of your imagination. Folks, black folks, all my Democrats, you don't have no party. You're in a party. You in this alone. Start acting like it. Start seeing other people. Date around. Consider the Green Party. You would expect voices, bold voices that speak courageously about issues like Dr. Cornel West, issues like mass incarceration, issues like discrimination across the board. But instead, in some quarters, are figures who embody the term milquetoast. You heard it right. They lack the spine to stand tall on crucial matters. Imagine this when you think they break free from the confines of the Democratic Party's shackles, scripted narratives, and they would bravely speak raw, unvarnished truth. Instead, they backpedal. Michael Jackson. You soft. Such hesitance from those who share the same title job as me. Yet they lack the integrity. They lack the courage, the moral resolve. That's my piece for today, folks. Let's hope for some real backbone in the independent media. Independent media that are willing to tackle the tough topics, willing to support Dr. Cornel West instead of throw him under the bus. For the milquetoast, horrible Joe Biden. I mean, Joe Biden might still win, but then you'll still be milquetoast, a sellout, a coward. All right, Mrs. Black, what we got next?
Well, I was just thinking about the with Dr. West and the Green Party, and just looking up the date of when there was like that official political party flip in 1964. And, you know, I'm just, maybe this may be a time in history where a lot of folks, you know, given good information about Dr. West and what his intentions are for this country, for this nation. You know, I am envisioning, you know, it's a dream, I'm guessing, that a lot of black folks would, you know, flip that Democratic ticket and maybe move on over to the Green Party, and maybe that Democratic establishment platform out there won't be as cocky to the point where, oh, we don't want to do debates. We've already kinged our person here. Right. So I know it's still early for the the presidential campaigns, but I think now is like the best time to just go ahead and get out there and talk about who we have running versus who we've got. You know, I think, you know, everyone, I would like to believe that everyone in this nation knows who Dr. West is. But do they understand his viewpoints, his perspectives, and what he envisions for this country, and how that can benefit their families, their lives, their communities? Right. So I would just love to be able to hop on that like this year, right now, and get that into play. So we've got some more work to do.
Yeah. We do. That sounds hopeful.
Yeah.
That's somewhere to go. That's something to get involved in. That's something to get behind and believe in. I tell you that. That beats you know, being depressed and down and going, oh, what is me? Woe is me. What can we do? Guess we gotta go vote for Joe.
Or just stay home.
Guess we gotta just stay home. I get that too. Don't get it wrong. Like, I understand both the lack of, you know, any type of urgency and supporting Joe Biden, and also the lack of, you know, the apathy, I should say. Oh my God. I
mean, I remember, and this is real quick, just watching the Finding Nemo movie with the kids. And there's a point in the movie where I believe Dory gets caught in a net because there's fishermen above and they're pulling up all these fish. They've cast this huge net and all of these fish are being brought up. And Dory and little Nemo in the net, and they're like, push down, everybody push down. And all the fish in the net use all their strength to push the net down, and the net eventually broke.
What?
So I'm hoping we're all in this together, you know, in that analogy, and we're bringing that net down, and we're breaking the system of things and onto something new. Onto something new and doable for this country. So
it's got to happen, man. It's got to happen.
Nemo.
This right? I love it. I love the analogy, and we need that. Hey, man, it's got to change sometime, right? Maybe it can change under Joe Biden. Maybe Joe Biden can be an instrument of change. The change when people realize, black people wake up and say, you know what, this ain't gonna work. This ain't working. I don't like this. This ain't gonna do it for us. You know, and we make an actual move to do something different.
Right. We have that opportunity.
You know,
right
I'm not saying go join the party of Ron DeSantis. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, hey, Green Party looks viable. I'm not even saying that, man. I'm saying Dr. Cornel West looks like an option. He is the option for me. You got to make your own mind up, and it's very early to do so. But I'm reporting this. I'm reporting the news as it is. Joe is horrible.